Hello friends, I am Dr. Madhukar Jadhav. In previous lecture, we have seen one method for determination of tachometric constant K and C. In this lecture, we are going to study the second method for determination of tachometric constants. Then we are going to derive the distance and elevation formula which is used in tachometric surveying. Next slide. So first of all, tachometric constant by field measurements. So this is also one of important technique for determination of tachometric constants. In this method, both the constants are determined by field observations. So first step, measure a line about 200 meter long on fairly level ground and drive pegs at some interval, say 50 meter. So what we have to do, in first we have to consider a 200 meter distance on a fairly level ground, and at an interval of about 50 meter we have to drive pegs, say first 50, then first peg is at 50, then at 100, then at 150, and the last one at 200. Then keep the staff on the pegs, say 1, 2, 3, 4, and observe the corresponding staff intercept with horizontal line of sight. Means the line of sight should be a horizontal one. So by keeping the staff at peg 1, 2, 3, 4, we have to take the 3 crosshair readings. Next step, knowing the values of distance, that is from instrument station to peg 1, then instrument station to peg 2, instrument station to peg 3, and instrument station to peg 4. These distances we can measure. Knowing the distances of these different pegs and staff intercept at different pegs, we will get simultaneous equations by keeping these values. In formula, D is equal to Ks plus C, that is first distance is say 50 is equal to K as it is plus that staff intercept we have to substitute and plus value of C. Similarly, D2 distance say 100, then is equal to K as it is, then second staff intercept we have to substitute value of C as it is. So in this way we will get the 4 or 3 simultaneous equations. These simultaneous equations, or from these simultaneous equations we will get successive pairs, and from that simultaneous equations we will get the value of K and C, and the average value will be the accurate value of multiplying constant and additive constant for that tachometer. Next slide. For example, S1 is the first staff intercept and D1 is the distance. So for that we will get this equation, D1 is equal to K into S1 plus C. Then this is second equation, third equation, like this we will get the different equation. Then from these two equations we will get, by subtracting equation 1 from 2, K is equal to D2 minus D1 divided by S2 minus S1. These distances are known, also staff intercepts are known, we will get value of K. Similarly, substituting the value of K in equation 1, we will get C is equal to D1 minus D2 minus D1 by S2 minus S1 into S1. So we will get value of C by this equation. Okay, so this is the field measurements for determination of multiplying constant and additive constants of the instrument. Generally, when we are purchasing the instrument, the supplier is giving the value of multiplying constant, also the additive constant, but sometimes by mistake, if we forgot these values, then in the field or by laboratory method we can find out these values. Next slides. Distance and elevation formula for inclined line of sight when the staff is held vertical. So this is very important. Let P be the instrument station, P be the instrument station and Q be the staff station. Okay, then M is equal to position of the instrument axis. Okay, then O is equal to optical center of the objective. Next one, capital A, C, B are the points corresponding to the reading of the three hairs which are cut by the staff. Then small s or s is equal to AB is equal to staff intercept, and it is denoted by I is equal to stadia interval or staff interval. Then theta is equal to inclination of the line of sight from the horizontal. Whatever the upper hair and the bottom hair, the inclination is denoted by letter theta. Then L is equal to length MC measured along the line of sight. Then D is equal to MQ is equal to horizontal distance between the instrument axis and the staff station. And V is equal to vertical intercept at Q, means staff station, between the line of sight and the horizontal line. Then small h is equal to height of the instrument, R is equal to central hair reading, and beta is equal to angle between the two extreme rays corresponding to the stadia hairs. So all these notations are shown in the figure. So next slide. So this is the figure. Distance between M and this B is capital L. This is the optical center O. This is the angle between the two rays beta, and theta is the angle between the inclined line of sight central hair and this horizontal line of sight of the instrument. Then this is the M, center of the instrument, and the instrument is set at P. So horizontal distance between this instrument station P and the staff station Q is a capital D. Then V is nothing but the vertical distance between the horizontal line of sight and the central hair. Then this R is nothing but central hair reading. So staff is kept at this ground level. So whatever this distance is called as R. And then this A, C, B are the corresponding points where these three rays are cut on the staff, and this is the line perpendicular to the central hair, and these are denoted by small a and A dash and the B dash. So from this data we are going to derive the distance and elevation formula when the staff is kept vertical and the line of sight is inclined upward. Okay, so this theta we can call as angle of elevation. Next slide. Since beta 2 is very small in this figure, this is angle beta, and if we take beta by 2, again it will be a half of this beta, so it is a smaller one, we can say. So since beta 2 is very small, its value being equal to this much only, so angle A dash C and B dash C may be considered approximately equal to 90 degree. So see in this figure, angle A dash C, angle A dash C, this angle may be considered as 90 degree, and here also B dash C may be considered as 90 degree by neglecting value of alpha by 2. So we have written here A dash C is equal to B dash C is equal to 90 degree. Now from these angles we can write from the triangle A C A dash C is equal to AC into cos of theta, just simple trigonometry. A dash C is equal to AC into cos of theta, and A dash B is equal to AB into cos of theta is equal to, AB is nothing but staff intercept, so we can write S into cos of theta. Since the line A dash B dash is perpendicular to the line OC. Since line A dash B dash is perpendicular to the line OC, the equation D is equal to Ks plus C is directly applicable to this, and hence we can write MC is equal to L, means horizontal distance between that M and C. MC is equal to L is equal to K into A dash B dash. See figure again. We are applying the horizontal side equation to this one. So this is exactly perpendicular to this. So we are finding out this L, horizontal distance between instrument station and point C. So MC is equal to L is equal to K into A dash B dash plus C is equal to K as it is S staff intercept into cos of theta plus C. Equation number 2. The horizontal distance D is equal to L into cos of theta. Again just trigonometry. D is equal to L into cos of theta is equal to substituting value of L from this equation. So L cos of theta Ks into cos theta plus C. This value we have substituted only. Ks cos of theta plus C into this cos of theta as it is. And hence D is equal to K into S into cos square theta plus C cos of theta is the distance formula when the line of sight is inclined. Are you getting? D is equal to K into S into cos square theta plus C cos of theta is the distance formula when the line of sight is inclined. Similarly, this V we can calculate. V is nothing but the vertical distance between the horizontal line of sight and the central hair. So V is equal to L into sine of theta just by simple trigonometry is equal to K into S into cos theta plus C cos of theta into sine of theta. Just value of L we have substituted over here. So by substituting that value we are getting Ks cos of theta plus C into sine of theta as it is equal to K into S into cos theta into sine theta plus C sine of theta. Again by using trigonometry for these two we can write sine theta cos theta is equal to 2 sine theta. So by substituting that we will get V is equal to K into S into sine 2 theta upon 2 plus C sine of theta as it is. So this is another important formula when the line of sight is inclined. Vertical distance is equal to K into S into sine 2 theta upon 2 plus C cos of theta. So equation 1 and equation 2 are the distance and elevation formula for inclined line of sight. Next slide please. Second, elevation formula when the staff or when the angle of elevation of the staff station for angle of elevation. So when we want to find out the elevation of the staff station, then what we have to do? Elevation of staff station means elevation of this Q. By knowing the elevation of this instrument station, we can find out the elevation of this Q by this formula. So elevation of the staff station for angle of elevation can be calculated. Elevation of staff station is equal to elevation of instrument station. So whatever the reduced level of elevation station which is given plus central hair reading plus V minus R. So by this we can calculate the elevation of a staff station when the angle of elevation is there. Again we will see from the figure. Elevation of Q is equal to elevation of staff station plus this H. Again plus V minus R. Okay. By doing these additions and subtractions we can find out elevation of this point Q. Next one, elevation of staff station for angle of depression, means when the line of sight is depressed one or inclined downward. In this case, now see, when the line of sight is inclined downward, then distance between the central hair and the horizontal line of sight is V, and distance between the central hair and the bottom of staff is H, or this we can denote as R in previous figure. Okay, so when the situation is like this, then RL of point P is equal to RL of this O plus height of instrument, RL of O plus height of instrument minus V minus H, because we are getting RL of this and we want RL of this. So if we subtract these two, we will get the RL of point P, and this is when the angle of depression is there. So this is all about of this lecture. Thank you.